Good to have you with us. Welcome to the Friday episode of the Jim Masters Show. So how did you do today? Did you survive this day? Did you survive Friday? Was it a good day for you? How was your week? We're checking in, we're chiming in, we're sending you and you and you and you some love and light this Friday in May. Could you believe that it's Memorial Day weekend already? Isn't that hard to believe that it's actually Memorial Day weekend? We've all lost the last couple of months on our calendar. You know, we wake up and we're sort of like, is today Monday or is today Sunday? Maybe it's Thursday. Well, what the heck, right? Well, it is Friday. This is the Friday night edition. So hopefully I'm helping you and guiding you with your calendar by letting you know it is Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. If you've been watching the episodes of the Jim Masters Show, well, first, I want to personally say thank you very much. The outpouring of support and love and continued sharing and so many people rolling up their sleeves and actually wanting to be a part of the show behind the scenes, it has been extraordinary. I've talked to so many people that are in public relations, that are in marketing, promotion, production, so many guests, so many friends of mine in the industries of television and radio and film and music who want to be a part of the show. And as I've said, or if you're just joining us, this has been a really cool experience for me because I do this for a living, you know, as a television radio host, an actor, journalist, voiceover artist, stage host, writer, producer. So for years, so many people have said to me, hey, Jim, why don't you put something together online? And on my Facebook pages, as I've mentioned, I've always done Masters Mantras, hashtag Masters Mantras, which are these positive reinforcing comments, observations of life that I've been doing. I've posted those on YouTube as well. But out of all of this fervor, this excitement that has happened, came the Jim Masters Show 3 weeks ago. It's been about just under 3 weeks that this show has launched and skyrocketed. And so many of you have been so gracious in terms of being a part of this show every single night. You know, some shows do shows once a week or once a month or a couple of times a week, but we've been actually working really hard behind the scenes here to do the show for you pretty much nightly. And it's been extraordinary. If you've been with us recently, we have had some fun segments. We've had food segments, music segments, inspirational segments. And of course, we've had great conversations with you. This is a very interactive live show that we do here from my home studio. And it's just been a blessing. Now, what's going to be really interesting is as things get busy again, doing this show when I'm on TV shoots and doing radio shows and on location, I'm going to have to take everything with me, including George Burns. And if I'm on a TV shoot like overseas or in other parts of the country or in Canada, we'll do the show there too. And that'll be pretty cool. We've got some really fun on location segments that we're going to be doing this weekend. So make sure you tune in for that. I also want to tell you that several more guests, celebrity guests, have booked to be on the show. I was talking to several of them today who have called me and said, Jim, I've heard about the Jim Masters Show. I've been watching the show. I'm loving what you're doing. I love your energy and your enthusiasm and authenticity. And I want to be on that show. I love the vibe. I love the feeling. And I love the comments that your viewers send in. So again, this show is an amalgamation. It's still building. It's still growing. It's still a little of everything. And there is music and food and all kinds of interaction, a lot of cool things happening. So I thank all of you who have been really taking the time to share the links, have watch parties, post and repost on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, the Jim Master Show episodes. Last night, if you were with us, if you weren't, you can go back in the archives on YouTube. I've got a whole section on YouTube that is devoted to the Jim Masters Show. And also here on Facebook at Jim Masters TV has archived all of the episodes thus far of this fun and interactive series here. Last night, we had one of my dear friends, and a lot of people fell in love with her, Maryann Nesbitt from Celtic Woman, from Rocktopia, from the Tim Janis special Celtic Heart, which I had a pleasure of being a part of as well. We did what turned out to be a 2-hour live show, an amazing conversation, laughs. We went down memory lane with pictures as well, because we've known each other for almost 20 years now. When I first interviewed her on PBS, her and all the other singers and vocalists from Celtic Woman on PBS a number of years ago, and we've stayed friends ever since. Celtic Woman, Celtic Thunder, you name it. I've probably interviewed all of them. And then we also had, in addition to Maryann Nesbitt, and again, if you want to see that 2-hour extraordinary interview where she actually performed live here on the Jim Master Show, viewers asked, hey, can you do Danny Boy and a couple of other songs on the violin? And I tip my hat to her. We texted this morning thanking her for the amount of time that she gave our audience. It was really, really wonderful. It was exclusive. It was live. There was no script. There's no script. There's no questions. And, a lot of times when people do, I'm a professional interviewer as well. And a lot of times, there's pre-scripted questions, which is good. In some scenarios that works well. But I like to have, some people say, is it an interview? I like to have a conversation. Even my professional work in television and radio, if I'm doing interviews, I've probably interviewed over 6,000 people now in these many years on TV and radio. I tell people, don't worry, relax, breathe. It's going to be a conversation. Pretend that it's, something that you've done a million times before. And we're just going to have a good, honest conversation. And that lightens their load and their worry and their nerves. I've interviewed psychiatrists on the air who afterwards, when we do the post-show call, they've said, oh my God, Jim, you made it so easy. I was so nervous. And I said, but you're the psychiatrist. You're the psychologist. You're the one who gets paid big money to relax everybody. They're like, but you don't know. I don't normally do this kind of thing on the air where I talk about myself and I talk about what I do. So, I hear that a lot, that I make things easy. And that's a goal of mine. It comes effortlessly. And I really enjoy doing it. And and we've already got a ton of comments already. And we just started the show. So I really thank your loyalty. Stick with the show, because I promise there are some extraordinary things coming up. We've got some celebrity birthdays to do. Now, I know there's 2 people watching that want to know what's in the glass. And if you've been a fan of this show and you've been following this show for a while, I could tell you that Ken from Wappinger Falls, New York, and Mom, who's in Florida, are probably saying, well, what do you have in the glass? Well, tonight, for a Friday night, the end of a very busy work week, we have a little white Zinfandel. It doesn't look white. It's amazing how they call it white, right? White, right? Say that 5 times fast. White, right? Not so easy, especially live on air. It looks almost like a pink or a rosé, but it actually is a little white Zinfandel for the end of the week, right? Just something light, refreshing. It's Memorial Day weekend. I wish you the very best. It's going to be an unusual Memorial Day weekend for sure. In this area here along the coast, the beaches are open and parks are open, but only the coastal beaches are open as far as access to water. Lakes and streams and rivers are not necessarily open for swimming. So, social, I got texts coming in. Good to see you as well. Texts, messages. It's good to see you. I love being with you guys. So wherever you are, again, I hope you have a good Memorial Day weekend. I want to tell you, if you can't, or try not to, or maybe take your laptop or phone with you, Monday's show is going to be It's going to be amazing. My dear friend, award-winning veteran actor and television and movie legend, literally legend, Tony LoBianco. He's been in countless movies, countless television shows. I think my mother used to watch him on Search for Tomorrow. He was Dr. Joe. She used to say, I used to love watching Dr. Joe. I think it was Search for Tomorrow, or maybe Love is a Betty Splendor thing. One of the CBS soap operas. He's going to be here Monday. And he has a very special, exclusive, very moving, it's going to be a moving episode, a very touching and moving video that he was a part of that has received 60 million views worldwide. And it was something designed specifically for the celebration and honoring of Memorial Day and those who are lost, of course, veterans and others. That is going to be debuted here on the Jim Masters Show this Monday at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, I've got a fantastic show. We're going to do dinner with Jim tomorrow night. That's right. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Saturday night, we're going to have our glass to toast, but we're also going to do a fabulous dinner. So if you can have some food with you, you don't have to have dinner at 7 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. You don't have to have your dinner with you. But if you have dinner with you, you can tell me what you're dining on and what you're enjoying, and we'll share dinner together tomorrow. I also want to preview, before we get to the celebrity birthdays, before I introduce George and all the cast of characters, I want to say I welcome you and you and you and you and you and you and you. We do this traditionally, usually at the open of every show, unless there's a guest and we, are under time constraints with the guest. But I just want to salute all of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This, again, is something that people have asked me to do for a long time. And I've always wanted to do it, but I've been so busy doing the things that pay the bills, the actual professional television or radio work, that I haven't had the time to really devote it. Well, maybe I've had some time to do it, but not to do it in the way that I want to do it for you. Sort of a perfectionist. I like to give my all, 110%. I like to present to you the best product and content that I can do. So again, considering we've put this together in 3 weeks, we've had some amazing guests. We had Rain Pryor with us, extraordinary. She's just a beautiful person. Go back in the archives. You can see my almost 2-hour interview with Rain Pryor, who's running for Baltimore City Council. We wish her the best. She's the daughter of comedian Richard Pryor. She was with us a couple of nights ago. Dan Goggin, the award-winning playwright who penned Nonsense on Broadway. We had Pavlo, the internationally renowned musician and guitarist who's had multiple PBS specials. I interviewed him on PBS multiple times. He was generous enough to join us. Mairead Nesbitt last night, and so many other people. But I want to toast to you. I want to welcome you here to our show. With a little white Zinfandel, whatever you're having tonight, enjoy it, even if it's just water or tea or coffee. Nice and smooth. Okay, and this show is all about lightening the load. It's about positivity. It's about inspiration. It's about passion and creativity and motivating people. We've gone through some extraordinary rough times lately, times that I've said, and a lot of people laugh when I say it, but it's so true, times that only I think Steven Spielberg or Stephen King could have ever dreamed up and scripted in maybe a movie from the 1970s, a late night movie. But we're here. That's the bottom line. You're here and I'm here. And that's what it's all about, folks. The blessings in our lives, you, me, us collectively. And I am a very positive person. So I'm always looking for ways to put smiles on the faces of those who need smiles. And sometimes even I need them. We all do. So here's something to put a smile on your face. Our friend, George Burns. I was watching actually a documentary on YouTube. Not a documentary. It was actually a segment that's on YouTube, 60 Minutes, TV Land in 60 Minutes, where Ed Bradley, the wonderful late broadcaster from 60 Minutes, Ed Bradley, did a phenomenal interview with the one and only George Burns, all about his life. George was not a success until Gracie Allen came into his life. And he talks about that. He tried so many different things. And it wasn't until he met Gracie that things really changed for his his trajectory as far as his career. And he mentions that in this 60 Minutes interview that was extraordinary. You can find it on YouTube. So George is here. George is alive and well once again with a cigar and his glasses. Again, for those of you joining us for the first time and saying, why is this guy holding up a George Burns doll? Well, because so many people said when I debuted this on our Nostalgic Week 2-3 weeks ago, we did childhood toys and fun and everything. I showed this. This was my aunt had the original. This is the original. On his 100th birthday, a limited supply of these were made, and she's a doll collector and got passed down to me. You're looking good, George. Very dapper. You know, one day I'm going to come on with the bow tie and I'll do the whole thing like George. Our friend Jeannie is here again. We're having a lot of fun, light and levity. Jeannie's stuck in this bottle because the hair salons are still closed, which is unbelievable. They're still closed. So she has not been able to do her hair. That's rough. I got a hat on, so my hair is very full and very long right now. It's quite long. The hair salons, barbershops, they're not open. So Jeannie's in here, and she's been stuck because being quarantined in a bottle, whether you're a TV actress or not, will evaporate your powers, whatever powers you got. So Jeannie, how you doing this Friday night? She's not that happy until she gets her hair done. She's been trying to do it herself, but I tell you, she can't do it because of the fact that the hair salons are done for now until I think June. And because she's been quarantined in there for so long, I've asked her to come out, you know, to greet you guys. She's in there. She sends her love, but she won't come out until her hair is perfect. She lost her powers because she's been quarantined for that long in her bottle. I mean, it's really cool in there with the beads and the couches and everything. Your friend, all of you have said to me from around the world, and I tell you, we welcomed a lot of new viewers to our show in the last couple of days, and we thank you all from around the world. We had Brazil and Spain, and it's been extraordinary. Your friend is here. Yes, I know you've been looking for silver. A little history again on silver. Silver I found in Europe on a television shoot. Silver actually was made in Switzerland, and I was on a television shoot. I fell in love with this silver K9, so he's here. You know, a lot of TV show, if you go back in time, a lot of the TV show hosts had props and had little sidekicks. So we're sort of doing that a little old school here on the Jim Masters Show. We like to have a lot of fun. You can't have everything be so heavy because a lot of the work I do professionally is serious. And so how about this? Now tell me, come on. If that doesn't make you smile, no matter who you are, what your background is, where you live, come on, look at that. That's Jimmy. My parents gave me this when I was a kid, and it's made of porcelain. And I debuted this like on a Saturday night show. And everybody was like, hey, I love him. Keep him on the show, along with Silver and George and Jeannie. So guess what? They're here for you. And as you know, we always do this. I did this last night with Marie Nesbitt. She loved it. It's funny. I picked this up. I don't know where the heck I picked this thing up. Believe it or not, this actually hangs on the wall. This is like a wall hanging. But it came off the wall. That's like I said, I should call this show Off the Wall because a lot of stuff's from around the house. Off the Wall Productions, a little lights, camera, action for you as we go a little Hollywood. How's your day? How have you been doing? Let me know. I see a lot of comments coming in just a minute. I'm going to read the comments. Before we get into the comments, because again, I love hearing from you guys. You know that. I try to show as many comments as possible. We're going to do some really cool stuff tonight. Don't go anywhere. I got a whole thing set here for you. However, before we do that, I do want to preview for you some of the, just some. There's several more. I just don't have photos of them yet. There's some amazing people that are coming on as guests next week, the week after. We're actually booking guests 3 weeks out already who want to be on the show. And I really, really appreciate that. And you know, it's Friday night. I thank you very much for being with us on a Friday night. There's a million other things you could be doing. The fact that you're here is an honor and a blessing. And I really appreciate it. Again, as I mentioned, Monday, award-winning television actor, movie actor, film star, the one and only Tony LoBianco will be here Monday night for a very special, exclusive conversation. and a very moving and inspiring show celebrating Memorial Day, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific this Monday. And he is sharing with us an exclusive, gorgeously produced, I've seen it, beautiful video Memorial Day tribute that has been seen by 60 million people worldwide. And Tony LoBianco is going to be joining me here exclusively. I interviewed, how I first met him was on PBS several years back. They were doing this special called The Italian Americans, and I was tasked as the host. So they brought Tony LoBianco in the studio. That was the first time I met him, and we just stayed friends. He, his lovely wife, Elise, we stayed friends ever since the PBS, and it was a national PBS special that I had an opportunity to co-host, and I interviewed Tony, and he was amazing. Now, on Tuesday, we have somebody else that's just as wonderful, and I interviewed her on the radio. And those of you who are soap opera fans, you may recognize her from the soap opera on CBS for 27 years, from 1992 to 2009, when the show wrapped. Guiding Light. Liz Kiefer is going to be with us. Yes, the brilliant actress, Liz Kiefer. She lives in New York. I interviewed her on the radio. She's all excited about being here. Tuesday, next Tuesday, award-winning veteran television and film actress Liz Kiefer is my special guest here on the Jim Masters Show. Again, for those of you who love the soap operas, Liz Kiefer was on Guiding Light for 27 years. She's going to be live here on the Jim Masters Show Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make a date with me and Liz. We're going to have lots of fun. She is all stoked. She's very excited about it. Then I want to tell you, on Wednesday, we have James F. Taylor Jr. He's coming on. He's a phenomenal musician. Got to get a photo of him. I'll have a photo for the next show. He's coming on Wednesday. I think he's going to play some music for us as well. He's terrific, a good guy. And then, next Thursday, you are in for a treat. Let me tell you, this is the one and only Loretta LaRoche. Now, when I say the one and only Loretta LaRoche, she is a dear friend of mine, but she is also a national treasure. She is a humorist. She is a stress management expert. She's an author, a TV show host. She has been on PBS with multiple PBS specials. I interviewed her on public television. The studio was on fire. People were laughing. The phones were on fire. People just loved it. She takes the craziness of life, the idiosyncrasies of life, and she breaks it all down. She is so excited to be here. We have stayed friends for many years, ever since I interviewed her on PBS. She is the award-winning Loretta LaRoche, Emmy award-winning Loretta LaRoche. Again, multiple specials on public television. She's an award-winning stress management expert, something we all need right now, but she's funny as heck. She makes her home in Massachusetts along the coast towards the Cape Cod area. She's originally from Brooklyn, New York, and she is a riot. She's with me here exclusively, and she can't wait. And I'm so excited she's going to be here. We chatted yesterday morning about it, and she's going to be joining us as well. Thursday, that's next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, I'm very excited to tell you that coming up very soon in June, the unbelievable Buffy Ford Stewart's going to be here. Who's Buffy Ford Stewart? She is a singer. She's a songwriter. She's a children's book author. She's one of the most beautiful people you'll ever know. Her husband is Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, the legendary songwriter who wrote the song Daydream Believer for the Monkees, who also wrote Gold, which Elvis Presley sang. I interviewed her for a close-up television interview about 2 years ago. I've posted that interview actually on my Facebook page at Jim Masters TV and on my YouTube page. Go to the YouTube page at Jim Masters TV. It's one of the first videos you see. You will see the full interview I've done with Buffy Ford Stewart at her home in her living room just north of San Francisco. When I told her, we were speaking this afternoon, she's got so many incredible things. Her niece is going to have a baby, and she's a grandmother now. She's going to be my guest coming up in about 2 weeks right here. And again, her husband, Jon Stewart, who penned Daydream Believer and so many incredible hits, And there they are together, Jon Stewart and Buffy Ford Stewart. Jon passed away in 2008, unfortunately, but we did a whole documentary. I hosted and produced a television documentary not that long ago. She is going to be our very special guest here on the Jim Masters Show. So stay tuned for that. And also, I've got another special guest, fabulous good friend and saxophonist, Mike Casey. Mike Casey is extraordinary. Got a chance to see him perform recently in New York City. He is extraordinary. He was living in Spain for a while. He's from the United States. He's all excited. He's going to play for us as well. And he's going to be coming up as well on June 4th. That's right, June 4th. It's going to be June 4th because he's debuting a new album on June 3rd. So on June 4th, Mike Casey, saxophonist Mike Casey, is going to be live on the Jim Masters Show, and I can't wait. But wait, there's more. Also, Screen Actors Guild actor. You see him in television shows and commercials and so much more. Dear friend Dwight Turner. Actor Dwight Turner is going to be joining us here on the show as well. He's coming up on the show. Can't wait for Dwight to be with us. And another phenomenal musician and good friend, guitar and so much more. He's another extraordinary performer, and he's just a good guy, good soul, good egg. Kip Sturgeon, the musician Kip Sturgeon, is going to be joining us on the show as well. So all kinds of incredible people are joining us here on the show, and we're very, very excited about all of that. And again, you know, when you have an opportunity to welcome people to the show who really are bringing you so many incredible opportunities for just entertainment and all kinds of cool things. Well, let me tell you, it turns into something very, very special. And all of these folks and a lot more, actually, I'm working with a PR person who's a dear friend, several PR people actually, who are bringing people onto the show. I have been inviting people myself who have wanted to go on the show, but I have a crew of people who have been very, very interested in bringing their clients and their folks that they represent on the show. Again, this has just been something I wanted to do for fun. And it's just taken off by leaps and bounds. And you guys make it special. With you here watching and enjoying, and it just makes it so much more special. I want to invite you, a couple of things here before we get into the birthdays and more. I want to invite you to send me a note. You can do it on Facebook Messenger. You can also reach me at jimmasterstv@gmail.com. If there's any photos that you'd like me to show, maybe Martha with her fairy garden in Michigan, and see how that's coming along. That's become a popular thing here on the show. If you have, a birthday, an anniversary, something coming on, not that doesn't just involve me, but something that is very special in your life, well, then let me know about it. Send me a note, send me a photo. I'd be very happy to show it here on the show. So you can tell all your family and friends to watch the show, and they'll see that special picture on our broadcast. So again, feel free to do that. You can send that to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And again, before we start the show with the fantastic celebrity birthdays and all the other stuff I've got coming up, we have some comments coming in from all around the world. And we've got good evening, everyone, from Martha Oliver Swartz. Good evening, Martha. Hi, Christine. You know, they sort of cross promote, which is good too. And Christine Fairwood. Hi, Jim Masters. Your show just keeps getting better all the time. I really deeply appreciate that, Christopher. You've been here, I think, every single night, as has Martha, Christine, Ken, Maryann Kelly, Kathleen Walker. You guys are the best. And the show just keeps growing by leaps and bounds. And that is, you know, the more it does that, the more I'll keep doing this for you. And, you know, because again, I do this for a living, and I know things are going to ramp up again, where I'm going to be on planes and trains and taxis and going to TV shoots and everything else. So, but I'll keep doing this show, and we'll keep expanding it and growing it into something bigger and bigger and bigger, which is already happening, which really humbles me, as long as you guys are there, because I love having fun interacting with you guys. So thanks for that, Christopher. And Maryann Kelly in New Jersey. Good to see you, Maryann. I appreciate you. I know you're a very busy person. And the fact that you're here every night, I really appreciate that. The Queen of Queens, Kathleen Walker, good to see you as well. Martha, hi, Jimmy, Cocoa Pop. Cocoa Pops, I haven't had those in years, but I do love them. Hi, Christopher, Maryann, Kathleen, everybody, greeting everybody. Noelle Clancy, there you are. Hey, Noelle, did you see the whole show with Marie Nesbitt last night? Go back in the archives on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and right here on the Facebook page of Jim Masters TV. I think you'd love it. It was a 2-hour interview we did, and she played live exclusively on my show. Noelle is a sweetheart. She's a wonderful person. I've done a lot of great things with Noelle. We've gone to dinner. We actually marched in the St. Patrick's Day parade with County Cork right down Fifth Avenue in New York City. And of course, then you hit all the different Irish pubs. And I don't know if you've ever done that in New York City if there's St. Patrick's Day parade, but you're literally like this. It's like, okay. It's really amazing. She's a wonderful, dear friend. And because of the social distancing and quarantining, we haven't been able to get together. But Noelle, we definitely will again, and we'll have some more fun and we'll catch up on our lives. Karen Levitt, I interviewed her on radio, on Close Up Radio, and she's become a wonderful friend. Happy to be here. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I like how this is going. You know what, Karen? I kind of like how this is going too. Again, I just put this together quick 3 weeks ago, and we just had some fun. I turned the lights on and we built a set, and here we are. And it's really, really a lot of fun. Christopher says, hello, everyone. Christine says, hi, all. Kathleen gives which is perfect. I love that, Kathleen. You're a gem. Almost 2,000 viewers. Yes, it's extraordinary. And it continues to grow because we share the links, and a lot of people watch all the shows, Christopher, in the archives, because all the episodes are archived at Jim Masters TV on YouTube and Facebook. And they're going to be joining Instagram soon too, as well. I would call last night's show epic. That was good stuff. Thank you very much, Ken. More to come. Hi, Ken. And let's see, your mother wants to know what you're drinking. Okay, if you just joined us late, and Ken wants to know too. So we've got a little white Zinfandel, okay? A little white Zinfandel. Do you approve, George? George definitely approves. Very, very nice. I toast all of you. That's why I have that here. Let's see. Ken says, hi, Martha. Very nice. You're also respectful. You're also friendly. I also perform with the Skip Turner Jazz Band, Christopher Joseph, in Sylvania, Ohio. Jim Masters, you need to get 60 million views. Well, Christopher, if you have a way of getting 60 million views, 600,000 views, go ahead. Get out there and you tell. The only way that happens is if you share the links. If you have watch parties, you don't know what those are, Facebook gives you the opportunity to actually have when I post those links promoting the shows, it says have a watch party. What happens is you click on that, start watch party, and then you can invite all your friends to watch the episodes as we're doing it. And they will see all your names up in lights. All right. We welcome you wherever you are. We welcome you, though, near and far. Absolutely. Oh, how did you like Bill Hildebrandt, the comedian, the Las Vegas comedian who was with us the other night? I watched that episode again, and it was hilarious. Yes. Agua again tonight. Good H2O, Christine. And Lori says Friday Night Libations. Yes, Friday Night Libations Incorporated. And what do you have in your glass, my sister Lori? I have the Aunt Gertie glass here. I wasn't going to have the same glass, but hey, it's a tribute to my beloved Aunt Gertie, my mother's oldest sister, the oldest of 16 kids. We'll have a whole show on that. Hola in Barcelona, Spain, Izzy. And let's see. Do the George Burns Jim Masters. You must have joined us late. George already did his hello. George he's on top of the game. He's ahead of me. The cigar and the whole bit. He's here. Jeannie's here, Silver, and Jimmy. All right, let's continue because we've got a lot to get to here. I tell you, these hours go by fast, and they haven't been hours. They've been a little longer. And you too as well. Yes, a very good night. Make it rain, Jimbo. I like the sun. We make it shine. Thanks, Doc. Hey, Rustin, good to have you with us. Rustin, thanks for joining us here on the show. Loretta, yes, Humor Your Stress. You saw that. Humor Your Stress was one of the PBS specials that I had an opportunity to interview Loretta LaRoche on. She's here next Thursday, Christopher. Don't miss that episode. It's going to be hilarious. That was one of her PBS specials that I had an opportunity to be a part of, and it was incredible. Buffy looks like Liz Taylor in that picture with her husband. She is an extraordinary person. Buffy Ford Stewart will be with us. Great cast of entertainers coming up in the Gym Masters Live. You got it. Priscilla Lynn. Hello from Priscilla Lynn, Prisco Consulting, U.S. Virgin Islands. Dear friend, love her. Hello, U.S. Virgin Islands. We're going to be working on some cool things with Priscilla. There are some phenomenal musicians in the U.S. Virgin Islands that we're going to be welcoming to the show that are going to entertain you right here on the Gym Masters Show. And Mairead playing at the end was so special. You know, that's right. And she was very gracious to do that. And, you know, we're dear friends, so I know she did that for me, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for the show. Rustin, thank you for being with us, too. Spread the word. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Happy weekend to you, too, Izzy, in Barcelona. Let's see. Austin Greenfield says, I bet you can't keep your show under an hour today. Well, we're trying, but we're getting all these great comments. Izzy, she's in Barcelona. We've heard from Brazil. We've heard from Australia. Let's see. More and more. Thank you for those beautiful hearts. We love it. To you too, Izzy in Barcelona, Spain. I'm sharing your link right now to Chris Joseph Facebook page, fan page. Terrific. Thank you, Christopher. Hi, Nancy, buddy. Love you, girl. Thanks for watching. Excellent. We appreciate that. And Kathleen is speechless. She's so taken back by what she's seeing that she's speechless. All right, guys. We didn't do it last night because we did that extended interview with my dear friend Maryann Nesbitt. And keep the comments coming. I will display. Is that what you want, Ken? Have you blocked out the time for us to do that? Because if so, I mean, you know, I when you're a broadcaster, you're trained to fill dead air. So you know that when you hear dead air, there's a problem. And did you know that from my years of doing also radio, that with how radio stations are technically built behind the scenes, if you have silence for a certain amount of time, and I forget how long it is, it's a matter of seconds, but if you go a certain amount of time without saying anything, an alarm goes off and it calls the home of the general manager. You don't want that to happen. And if he doesn't answer, then it calls the program director and the chief engineer. And all these people get these calls like 2 o'clock in the morning when there's dead air on the station. So we won't have any of that. Good friend. Gonna have you on the show. We got to talk. Got to have you on, Tiffany. Hi, Jim. I just watched the replay from yesterday, and what fun memories. I'll share on my Facebook page and tag you. Beautiful violinist, dear friend. We had a wonderful time at Carnegie Hall, and then we had a fantastic time with our dear friend Mairead Nesbitt afterwards, and love her, Tiffany. She's in Chicago. She's a fan of the show. Thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate you being here as well, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Watch the one from 2 nights before. I think you'll love guitarist Pablo, who's also a PBS star and who's had multiple specials on PBS. And he's working on a special right now, Tiffany, that he's going to be filming in Santorini, Greece. He was supposed to be doing it in June, but he's doing it in August for PBS. And it's going to be brilliant. He's a dear friend as well. And it was supposed to say sending hugs. Well, we hug you too. Virtual. All we could do is virtual. We can't do anything for real right now. Jim, have you ever interviewed Barbara Eden? No, but that's Barbara Eden, Dick Van Dyke. I was actually this close to a Dick Van Dyke interview, but he got called away because I think it was his 90th birthday and they celebrated it at Disneyland. So, but I was actually on the same set with Barbara Eden last year when my dear friend David Gear, who is a film producer, created this beautiful Christmas movie where she played Mrs. Santa Claus, and she came to the East Coast and she was there. Let's see, you fill the space well. My great friend, Bad Memories About 3 a.m. calls it Radio Towers Park. Yes, right. So David is a veteran radio broadcaster, television professional. He worked with me at iHeartRadio. He worked with me at PBS and Connecticut Public Television, and then he had a wonderful career and retired recently at ESPN. He knows, especially if you work in the traffic department where you schedule everything on the station, what happens if there's dead air. A radio station doesn't let dead air just happen and stay that way. It starts dialing phone numbers, and you don't want it to dial the general manager's number at 3:00 in the morning, because then you know there's going to be problems for you if you are the person programming the station. I love Pablo. I watched while it was live. Oh, terrific. You were styling your hair while watching. Ooh, I wish I saw a picture of that to see what you were doing. Amazing interview. Recognize him from PBS. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Pablo, what a great interview. Thank you very much. I've interviewed him a couple of times now, and we actually threw those dishes. That's what he's known for. He goes, Opa, and he throws the dishes, which is a Greek tradition. And he brings the dishes, and we smash them in the studio. And at first, when he came to the studio, public television, we were like, why? You're going to smash dishes? Why would you break the dishes? It's part of the tradition. It would be so cool to collab with him someday. Absolutely. And hi, David. I think I was a guest on your show 12 many moons ago. And Chris Joseph CD, My Love Is Real, iHeartRadio. Good stuff. Now, as everybody is here, we appreciate it. And again, tell your friends, spread the word. Let's make this a big block party on the Jim Masters Show. Because again, I've got a lot of stuff up my sleeve and a lot of things we're working on. And you make it happen. So it's a blessing to have you here. There are several birthdays we want to celebrate. And then I have some real special segments in store for you here. Will we keep this to an hour? We'll try. Good thing there's no commercial breaks, right? And we don't have any top of the hour news break that we have to get to, or station ID. I'll do the ID now. You're watching the Jim Masters Show on the Masters Broadcasting Network. So we're covered for the next hour or so. We are celebrating some celebrity birthdays. And let's see if you could recognize some of these birthdays or some of these celebrities who are celebrating birthdays today. First off, we have Allison Eastwood. Who's Allison Eastwood? Allison Eastwood is an American actress. She's also a director, and she is a producer, and she is an amazing and brilliant actress. I don't know if you are as familiar with her, but I think you are very familiar with her dad. Her dad is the one and only Clint Eastwood. That's right. Now, she's been in a lot of extraordinary productions of her own right as well. And she was born May 22nd, 1972. And anybody watching right now who's having a birthday or another celebration, we, celebrate you as well. Happy birthday to you from Jim Masters and Company. An American actress, director, producer, fashion model, fashion designer. Eastwood was born in Carmel, California, the daughter of Maggie Johnson and movie star Clint Eastwood. She has a brother, Kyle Eastwood, and 6 half siblings, including Kimber, Scott, Catherine, Francesca, and Morgan Eastwood. Allison Eastwood landed some professional acting roles during her childhood and pre-adolescent years, making her uncredited film debut at the age of 7 in Bronco Billy in 1980. At the age of 11, she had a major role in the thriller Tightrope in 1984. She has also worked as a runway and magazine model in Paris, posing for several European fashion magazines and for Vogue as well, the US edition. Since then, Allison Eastwood has again appeared on screen. Her film credits include Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil in 1997. Just a Little Harmless Sex in 1998, Black and White in 1999, Friends and Lovers in 1999. If You Only Knew back in 2000, Power Play 2002, Pool Hall Junkies 2003, I'll Be Seeing You 2004, Once Fallen 2010, and The Mule in 2008. So it is her birthday, and we celebrate Allison Eastwood here on the Jim Masters Show. And somebody else. Now, I'm sure, maybe you'll recognize her with me in between. Naomi Elaine Campbell, born May 22nd, 1970. An English model, actress, and businesswoman, discovered at the age of 15. She established herself amongst the most recognizable and in-demand models of the late 1980s and 1990s, and is one of 6 models of her generation declared supermodel by the fashion industry and the international press. In addition to her modeling career, Naomi Campbell has embarked on other ventures, including an R&B pop studio album and several acting appearances in film and television, such as modeling competition reality show The Face and its international offshoots. Naomi Campbell is also involved in charity work for various causes. We say happy birthday to Naomi Campbell. Now we're going to go back in time a little bit. Some of you may remember this television and movie legend who's still with us, a brilliant actress, and he was on a series. Well, he was on a lot of shows, but one of the most notable was Room 222. We're talking about Michael Constantine, who was born May 22nd, 1927. He's an American actor of Greek descent. He is most widely recognized for his portrayal of Kostas Gus Portolakos, the Windex bottle-toting Greek father of Tula Portolakos, in the film My Big Fat Greek Wedding back in 2002. Earlier, he earned acclaim for his television work, especially as the long-suffering high school principal Seymour Kaufman on ABC's sitcom Room 222, for which he won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. In 1970, he was again recognized by the Emmy Awards as well as the Golden Globe Awards the following year. After the conclusion of Room 222, which used to air on ABC, I believe it was Friday nights. I think the lineup was the Brady Bunch at 8. I think it was Partridge Family, 8:30, Nanny and the Professor, 9, and then Room 222, possibly. Constantine portrayed Night Court Magistrate Matthew J. Sirota on the 1976 sitcom Sirota's Court, receiving his second Golden Globe nomination. And Michael Constantine reprised his role as Gus in My Big Fat Greek Wedding back in 2016. And of course, he is still with us, and we're very happy about that. Happy birthday to Michael Constantine. All right, we're going to move quickly through these fabulous, wonderful birthdays. Peter Nero. Those of you who are music fans know Peter Nero, born Bernard Nairo, May 22nd, 1934. He's an American pianist and pops conductor. He directed the Philly Pops from 79 to 2013. He is still with us. He's earned 2 Grammy Awards. He was born in Brooklyn, New York as Bernard Nero, N-I-E-R-O-W, but he is known as N-E-R-O. He started his formal music training at the age of 7. He started piano under Frederick Breed. By the time he was 14, he was accepted to New York City's High School Music and Art, and also won a scholarship to the Juilliard School of Music. Constance Keene, his teacher and mentor, once wrote an issue of Keyboard Classics. Vladimir Horowitz was Peter's greatest fan. He graduated from Brooklyn College in 1956. Peter Nero recorded his first album under the name Bernie Nero in July 1957 under the Mode label, which shows his technical virtuosity in the jazz genre. Peter Nero recorded an album back in 1961 and won a Grammy Award that year for Best New Artist. Since then, he has received another Grammy, garnered 10 additional nominations, released 67 albums. His early association with RCA Victor produced 23 albums in just 8 years. His subsequent move to Columbia Records resulted in the million-selling single and album Summer of 42. How many people remember that beautiful song, Summer of 42? His first major national TV success came at the age of 17 when he was chosen to perform Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue on Paul Whiteman's TV special. He subsequently appeared on many top variety and talk shows, including 11 guest appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show and numerous appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Peter Nero, and Ethel Merman on the Bell Telephone Hour back in 1964. Hailed as one of the premier interpreters of Gershwin, Peter Nero starred in the Emmy-winning Swonderful, Smarvelous, Gershwin, 1972. Other TV credits include performances on PBS TV, Piano Pizzazz, and with the National Symphony in Washington, D.C. on its July 4th special, A Capital of Fourth. Peter Nero served as musical director and pianist for the PBS TV special, The Songs of Johnny Mercer, Too Marvelous for Words, back in 97, and he, with co-stars Johnny Mathis, Melissa Manchester, and many members of the Pops. So, Peter Nero, the true legend. We're very happy to celebrate the one and only Peter Nero here on the Jim Masters Show. Here is another. Now, you may not know the face of the person that we're celebrating, but you're definitely going to recognize the face of the person who's with him. And we are talking about Bernard John Taupin, born May 22nd, 1950. English lyricist. He's the one on your screen that's on the left. The one on the right is, of course, Elton John. English lyricist, poet, singer, and artist. He's best known for his long-term collaboration with Elton John, having written the lyrics for most of the songs that Elton sang. In 1967, Taupin answered an advertisement placed in the UK music paper New Musical Express by Liberty Records, a company that was seeking new songwriters. John responded to the same advertisement, and they were brought together, Bernie and John, Elton John, collaborating on many projects. Bernie Taupin and Elton John were inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame back in 1992. Here's another shot of them more recent as well. There you go. Elton John on the right, Bernie Taupin on the left. Wrote a lot of the songs that Elton John made famous. Here's another person celebrating a celebrity birthday, Ann Cusack, the actress, American actress. She had roles in both the 1996 comedy Multiplicity, A League of Their Own, 1992, and The Informant in 2009. She has made guest appearances in a number of television series you might recognize: Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, One Tree Hill, Charmed, Ghost Whisperer, The Unit, Boston Legal, Bones, Frasier, Ally McBeal, Criminal Minds, Private Practice, Fargo, and Better Call Saul. We celebrate the wonderful Ann Cusack. And one last one here. We're going to sports a little bit. We celebrate Tommy John, or born as Thomas Edward John Jr., May 22nd, 1943. American retired professional baseball player who played in Major League Baseball for 26 seasons between 1963 and 1989. He played for the Cleveland Indians, the Chicago White Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, the California Angels, and the Oakland Athletics. He was a 4-time MLB star. That's right. So we say happy birthday to Tommy John as well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday to you. All right. So we've got the birthdays in there. And if you're celebrating a birthday, we wish you a happy birthday as well. We've got some comments coming in here before we go to another segment. And let's see. Let's scroll down and see what we've got going on here. Let's see where we left off. There's so many comments coming in. Where did we leave off? And there's new comments. All right. Let's scroll to the new comments. Yes, Bernie and John. Happy birthday to all the celebrities. Yes, absolutely. So good to see everybody here, and we welcome you. All right. I'm going to take you down a little nostalgic path here on the show. We've been celebrating all these fine folks, and we celebrate you all the time as well, because I think all of you are stars, and we thank you for being on the show. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow. We're going to do Dinner with Jim on a Saturday night, and we've got the menu already selected, and I can't wait to have dinner with you. So pour a glass of wine and get your favorite meal or whatever it is, or maybe order takeout, delivery. Hey, Jason Brewster's here as well. Oh boy, I've worked with him. He's a veteran in the television business as well, and Jason is a good friend. I've worked with his mom on many public television specials and productions, his mother Harriet. And David William Smith is here, Jason, as well. Of course, we all knew each other from public television. Good to see you, Jason. Hope you're doing well and your family's getting through all of this. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Jason, as well. We've got a lot of folks who are tuned in right now from all around the world. So if you're just joining us for the first time, again, this is the third week of the show. We've had some extraordinary guests that have been on with us, and we've got a full lineup of phenomenal celebrities and talent that are joining us next week on the show. Don't go anywhere. Again, Tony LoBianco with a special Memorial Day episode coming up. Let's see here. Dinner with the Master, Jim Masters. Yep, that's coming up tomorrow. Do you remember we did the Mother's Day episode too, where we did brunch with Jim? 10 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday. We cooked all this food. All right. I want to take you down a little memory lane here in my world and show you some cool things some projects that I've had an opportunity to work on with some amazing people, some of them with public television, some of them with other TV shows and other entities I've had an opportunity to work with. Some people you might recognize, like for example, here we have somebody that is actually quite special, and she's on the far right. That is Idina Menzel. This was a national special for PBS, and this is at WNET, Channel 13 in New York City. And my co-host and I had an opportunity to interview Idina Menzel, and she's amazing. Of course, Broadway star. She was in Wicked, and I think if I recall, I forget what it was. It was the Oscars, the Emmys, whatever it was, where John Travolta called her some other name that was not Idina Menzel, and that went viral. She was fantastic. And again, it was a pleasure having an opportunity to work with her and interview her on television for a very special episode. Here's some more good people I've had an opportunity to work with. That is Carl Brudson on the left. He is from England. And Ian Cattell, they are with Brit Floyd. Brit Floyd, very, very popular group that tours the world. Their concerts are usually always sold out. And what's cool about this is we were doing this. This was also in New York City for a special. And they are pretty much if you go to one of their concerts, they literally sound like Pink Floyd. Matter of fact, the members of Pink Floyd sort of put their stamp of approval on Brit Floyd to say that they are the closest in sound to what we sounded like, because Pink Floyd does not perform anymore. But I mean, they've got the pyrotechnics, the lighting, they do the whole shebang. So this was an interview there. Now, here's somebody cool. Some of you may know, might not. This is a very, very famous person in Italy. They call him Sugar, but his real name is Zucchero. And he has penned so much extraordinary music, and he was a delight to have an opportunity to interview and chat with as well. And here's somebody that was a real pleasure to meet as well. This is, he's retired now, but he is a legend in his own time. Andy Roddick, professional tennis player Andy Roddick. And again, he was really cool. This was at an event we were at. A charity fundraiser, and we got a chance to chat. Wonderful person, good guy. Bernie Williams as well, the former New York Yankee. He's also a fantastic Latin guitarist. I don't know if you've ever heard his music, but he is absolutely amazing, and he's a great guy as well. Another one that was terrific, Judy Collins. How many of you love Judy Collins? Send in the Clowns and so many other incredible performances. Had an opportunity to work with Judy Collins, and she just was amazing. Matter of fact, a little story about the night. This was in New York City, WNET. It was funny because when I was getting ready to ask her a question, I said, Judy, you look so angelic. I mean, just the way the lighting was with the hair and all of it, the white pantsuit. And I said, Judy, you look so angelic. And then she looks at me. She was seated at a piano. They had her seated at the piano, sort of looking up at me and the co-host. And she goes, when I said, you look, very angelic this evening, Judy, she goes, well, little do you know. She shared an apartment with Bob Dylan. I mean, she could really tell some amazing stories. And then if we celebrate some more great folks I had an opportunity to work with, there's the one and only Peter Yarrow. Peter Yarrow, of course, from Peter, Paul, and Mary. He is just somebody, he's a bundle of energy. And we worked with him on a lot of different specials over the years. And he's just a really giving, loving person. And he's a lot of fun. Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul, and Mary. Paul Stuckey as well, the Paul and Peter, Paul, and Mary, another fantastic person too. Had an opportunity to work with him and interview him as well. He was a delight. And then, of course, Mary Travers, the Mary and Peter, Paul, and Mary. This was an actual live interview at public television. We lost Mary just a couple of years ago. It was a blood disorder, and she was unbelievably wonderful and funny as heck. That interview, which we have in our archives, maybe one day I'll pull it out. Everybody, the whole studio was in stitches. I was the host, co-host, and she was the guest, and it was incredible. She was really a ray of sunshine. Mary Travers from Peter, Paul and Mary. Loved interviewing her. Now, a couple of nights ago when I had, I think it was either Mairead Nesbitt on or maybe Pavlo on, a lot of you mentioned Mario Frangoulis and George Paris. They're good friends. I interviewed Mario several years ago, George as well, and we've stayed great friends. This was in New York City. They had come over from Europe because they live in Greece, and it was a very special event that we all attended, and Mario was there in town, Mario Frangoulis, who sells out. I mean, especially in Europe, he sells out left and right, and George Paris as well with us. Some of you know the guys from Celtic Thunder. Several of them have also embarked on their own careers. This is just some of Celtic Thunder, not the whole group, but this was backstage after emceeing their concert. Damien McGinty on the left there, and Keith Harkin next to me, and then Colm Keegan on the right there. It was a really cool night, a lot of fun. Some of the guys, and Damien has made a real career for himself. He was on Glee, and then of course he just broke out, and Keith has as well recently too. Of course, right now, nobody's performing because all the planes are grounded and there's not a lot of action going on. But when they do perform, they sell out. Another one here for you with Damien McGinty, and you might recognize Maryann Kelly, also from Celtic Thunder. And he has also teamed up with Neil Byrne, who also is part of Celtic Thunder, and they do their Ryan and Neil performances as a collaboration in addition to the work on Celtic Thunder. And of course, Damien McGinty there on the left. Now, here's one that goes back for you. You recognize the person on the left. Maybe not. That is Gayle King, who you see on the CBS Morning News, CBS This Morning, every morning with Anthony and Tony and the team there on CBS. This goes back a ways. This was at the CBS affiliate when she was an anchor on the CBS affiliate. This was in Hartford, Connecticut, WFSB TV, and we were there, and it was really cool. She was wonderful. She was genuine, and she now, of course, is the anchor of the CBS This Morning. Here's another one for you that might go back. Jackie Evancho. Do you know Jackie Evancho? Of course. This, she has grown by leaps and bounds. Her career has taken off as well. This was when we were filming a special for great performances, and this was Music of the Movies, which was a national special that aired on PBS, and we were flown out to Los Angeles and filmed on location at the Orpheum Theater in LA. And she was a delight. We got a chance to interview her and chat with her, and then we shot all the national PBS pledge breaks with my co-host, Jessica, and we were actually in a balcony. And there's a little story behind the scenes. This was really funny. They were doing rehearsals while we were trying to do our segments, our PBS pledge breaks. So we're in the balcony, very tight, with the crew. It was a crew from New York, from WNET at that time. So we're in the balcony, but at the same time, they had some people in the audience, and they were sort of doing test shots and rehearsals with Jackie and the other singers. The Canadian tenors, I think, were there as well, and the musicians. So we had to work filming around when they were rehearsing, and they were getting different camera angles and everything else. So we would say like 4 sentences, and then they would start singing, or 4 sentences, and the director would come over the PA system in the theater, and we would have to stop. So we literally had to cram in our work, our segments for the national PBS pledge breaks during the time that they were doing the actual rehearsals. And it was pretty cool, and it was very wild, and hey, loved it. Wouldn't change a thing. Here's another shot with the guys, with Mario Frangoulis and George Paris. This was in New York City. Some of you have asked about Florence Henderson. Yes, I had an opportunity to chat with her. She was wonderful. Still miss her. She wrote to every single person that wrote to her all the years she was in the business, Florence Henderson. She was one of the most beautiful, inside and out, warm, affable people. Literally in this picture, she's sitting on my lap. The photographers had us all pulled together, and we had a lot of fun that night. And this was at a special event. And she was just a beautiful, beautiful person. Matter of fact, when she passed away, my phone lit up and people were offering me condolences. And this was on a Thanksgiving just a couple of years ago when she passed of heart failure, because I was just with her the month prior. Matter of fact, she went from this back to California to be with the team at Dancing with the Stars on ABC. She was rooting for Maureen McCormick, who was Marsha on the Brady Bunch, who was dancing on that season of Dancing with the Stars. And I got these phone calls and text messages, and everybody was offering me condolences. And I thought a family member had passed, and it was Florence. She and I just had a wonderful, I can't explain the relationship, but it was so incredible. And I'm so glad that we had that. And she's just very, very loving. Here's somebody else that we lost very recently, Kenny Rogers, of course. Kenny Rogers was another guy that was just a straight shooter, a wonderful talent. And we had a great conversation as well. And he was amazing. And, you know, that's a sad loss that just happened just months ago. Kenny Rogers, the gambler. And here are the Moody Blues. I don't know if any Moody Blues fans are out there, but I had an opportunity to chat with them and interview them, and also welcome them on stage as well as MC. And that was a real hoot, and that was really cool. The gang from Moody Blues. And let's see if there's somebody else here. Oh, yeah, that was cool. That was actually at the studio with Chloe Agnew and Nathan Carter. That was a lot of fun. And, of course, Carol Burnett. These are just a few pictures. A lot of you have been asking me to whip out some of these pictures from my career. And these are just a couple of quick ones I was able to throw together for you. This is with Carol Burnett, the one and only Carol Burnett, one of my favorite people on earth. If you want to know if Carol Burnett and Florence Henderson are like you would hope they would be, meaning funny, warm, approachable, affable, no ego, no airs about them, they are. Florence Henderson absolutely was. She literally wrote to every single fan. She told me that night. She said, I write back to every single fan. She really appreciated her fans and loved the work that she did. And not just the Brady Bunch, but all the shows. Carol Burnett, same way. Warm, funny, affable, approachable, witty, loving. She's just an amazing person. So any of you who wonder if any of these people are like they are, you know, on stage or on television or in movies, Carol Burnett absolutely is just everything you would hope for. And she's one of my favorite people in the industry, and just a spectacular, spectacular person. I wanted to mention one other guest that is going to be joining us. This is Mark Vitale. Mark Vitale is a brilliant singer and actor, and he's coming up on June 10th. He just booked on the show to be my guest on June 10th. He was, oh my God, I think it was Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway. And he's a veteran Broadway actor, an incredible singer, one of the nicest guys on earth. He's going to be joining me on an upcoming episode as well of the Jim Masters Show. So again, lots of good people here, lots of great friends from over the years, lots of new people joining us as well. Whew, we have a ton of comments coming up. Again, yeah, we went past the hour. I know originally I said I was only going to do an hour with these shows, but there's so much interactivity and so much great commentary here. Let's see, where did we leave off? They said they're sharing the pages. I appreciate that as well. We got Christopher and Tiffany, and let's see what else. Okay. Here we go. Christopher Joseph, great celebrity photos with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Christopher Joseph, Judy Collins, someday soon. Judy is another person that is not only a brilliant, legendary singer and talent, but just a warm and inspirational person. Peter, Paul, and Mary too. Mary Travers, amazing. You saw the interview with Mary. Oh, you saw that interview that I did with Mary on PBS. Wasn't that incredible? I pulled the tape out and I watched it a couple of days ago. and I was in stitches. There's a lot of moving, poignant moments in that interview with Mary Travers from Peter, Paul, and Mary, Christine, but also a lot of hilarity, a lot of very funny moments too. She had a spot on, quick, dry wit, which I appreciate and love. You could throw anything at Mary Travers. She would grab it and toss it right back at you. She was amazing. And I think on that night, we were offering people that supported public television were getting dinner for up to 10 people at her home, and she would cook it at her Connecticut home. So those were some very lucky people. And George Paris, Mara Frangulis Archive, absolutely. Yeah, they're great guys, brilliant singers. Kathleen Walker says, very nice. Thank you, Kathleen, in New York City. Christopher Joseph, Lawrence Henderson, movie Song of Norway. Marsha, absolutely. And of course, Marsha got hit in the face with that football. Remember that? Wonderful photos, Jim. Just awesome. Thank you very much. Martha Oliver Swartz in Michigan. Hey, Martha, how is your garden going? And is Bill Hildebrandt, the veteran Vegas comedian who we had on our show as a guest just a couple of nights ago, and we had an incredible time. I was laughing left and right. I watched the show again in the archives. I laughed even more when I watched the archived version of the Jim Masters show. Is he still helping you with your garden? I hope he is. He said he was. Let's see. And what else do we have here? Yes, Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin, of course, legendary. David William Smith saw Moody Blues several times. You never take a bad picture. Well, I tell people in regards to bad pictures, the bad pictures go in the fireplace with the wood and they burn. We all take bad pictures. Of course we do. I think, right? Love the Carol Burnett Show. Yes, Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, Vicki Lawrence, and of course, Harvey and Tim. Tim we just lost recently. Harvey is gone, but Vicki and Carol are still with us, and we're so blessed that they are with us as well. So Christine Fairwood says a very happy LOL. Yeah, that was a lot of fun when Mary Travers was in the studio. Peter, Paul, and Mary. I was looking, I got to dig out the Sarah Brightman picture too. We got a chance to interview Sarah Brightman. So enough about, what I've been talking about here. This is interactive, and this night I like to have as an interactive night on Friday nights. How are all of you doing? Tell me, what did you do today? What are you planning for Memorial Day weekend? Everybody watching from all points of the globe, those of you that are with us this evening. What are you doing tomorrow and Sunday? Are you, of course, going to be social distancing, but are you going to have barbecues? Are you going to go to the park? You're going to go to the beach? It's supposed to be around these parts here in the Northeast, supposed to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend to get out. So we're going to be getting out. Tomorrow, we're going to be on location on the Jim Masters show. So we're going to have an on location episode specifically and just for you. So make sure you tune in for that. So let's see. What are people doing? Our viewers, Christine, is going to be going to the beach. That's going to be interesting with the beaches too, with all the social distancing that's happening and how everything is going to have to be sort of spaced out. I was watching the news and I was seeing some images of some of the beaches down south already. And they're having to space people out and the masks and the, people forget. When I'm out, I do wear the mask. When I go into any public places, I wear the mask. And people sometimes forget that when I'm wearing the mask, it's for the benefit of the other person. They think I'm doing it or somebody else that's got a mask on is doing it just to protect themselves. No, you're protecting the other person. So if they have the mask on, they're protecting you. I know it's a tough subject, but the masks, I've got some cool masks too that were given me. Priscilla, well, of course, Priscilla Lynn. In the U.S. Virgin Islands, beach sounds pretty good to me. One of these days, maybe, Priscilla, we'll have to work on this. Maybe we should take the Jim Masters show. I do on location stuff. I don't just do it here in the home studio. I do in just the 3 short weeks we've been on the air here. We've been on location. We've done all these cool things. I'm thinking about we go on a road trip and maybe we go to the U.S. Virgin Islands. How does that sound? And we come visit you and we do the Jim Masters show in a lounge chair with our feet in the sand on the beach with a banana colada or something like that, pina colada, whatever it is, martini, anything. I think I like that idea. How many of you vote for the Jim Masters show to go on location? And I want to tell you something really cool that I've been toying with as far as an idea, as long as this show continues to grow by leaps and bounds. When I did this twice, I was approached by travel agencies twice a couple of years ago when I was on iHeartRadio doing a show for 18 years, hosted and produced, and a talk show and shopping show, like QVC shopping show. And another radio station I was on, travel agency said, Jim, you've got a lot of following. You've got a lot of people that tune into those shows. We would like to partner up with you, and we want to go on a cruise to Bermuda. So I said, wow, that's kind of cool. Let's go to Bermuda. So we worked it out with the travel agency where we were able to take the actual audience with me, members of my family as well. And we actually went on a full 10-day cruise to Bermuda. We left out of New York and we sailed to Bermuda, and we had a marvelous time. We did it twice, 2 different travel agencies. So we might do something like that as things hopefully, ease in the social distancing. We might just keep your fingers crossed. There might be a day where we can all come together and get together. That would be great. So, I'm always creative, always thinking of great ideas and or fun ideas. So let's see what we've got. More comments coming in here. Again, this is probably one of the few shows that you're going to get so much interactivity. Here we go. 15 feet. You're going to do 15 feet of social distancing at the beach. That sounds pretty good. 15 feet. But hopefully you won't get some guy with his blanket who just plops his blanket right next to you, Christine, and says, all right, come on, kids. Come on, honey. We're planting ourselves right here next to this woman, Christine. Hope that doesn't happen to you. Ken says he's going to church on Sunday there in Wappingers Falls, New York. That is a beautiful thing to do as well. Yes, Karen, I know the New Hampshire beaches are closed till June 1st. Watching people drive there, relax on the deck and grill and food, that's nice. We all have to make the best of things. Like I said at the top of the show, you're here, I'm here. That's part one. The sun will come up, the birds will chirp, the ocean tides will come in. We have to make best of the situation, and it's been a tough thing for so many people. And we have a lot of light and levity here on the show, a lot of fun. And one of the reasons why I want to have that, because I know the alternative is not, it's scary time, interesting time that we're living in. And there's been a lot of loss and a lot of economic and health loss, but we're here to lighten things up and bring people together on the Jim Masters Show. The mask is an act of kindness. Someone said, it really is. When you have the mask on, you're showing kindness to the other folks that are around you, whether you're hiking. We do a lot of hiking and jogging. We love to go along the coast. It really is an act of kindness. So hopefully, others will pay heed. Whatever we can do to get rid of this miserable virus, it's probably something we're going to be living with, like the flu, that will come back. Unfortunately, it's a new thing, that's been introduced to our society, to our world. But hopefully, they'll find the vaccine, and hopefully we'll be able to get a handle on it, right? It really came at us pretty strong. Come on down. So Priscilla says, come on down to the U.S. Virgin Islands. That sounds pretty good to me. And I'll show this at the end of the show, but we will do this when we come, Priscilla. RELAX. We're going to do a lot of relaxing. I think we should do a Jim Masters Show road trip to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we should do this show, take it out of the home studio. We have done that on location, but I think we should take it to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Who votes for that? I know George does, Jeannie does, Silver. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get Silver there. And Jimmy the Clown, he can go in the carry-on luggage. I wouldn't put him in the, TSA luggage. He's going to go in the carry-on. I love your vest and shirt combo tonight. Yes, thank you very much. Glad you like it. We always try to change things up with the show. And Karen said in New Hampshire says, yes, I agree. The mask is an act of caring for others. I believe that. Tutola, British Virgin Islands. Oh, the British Virgin Islands too. We'll have to go there. So we'll go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, Karen, and see Priscilla, and then we'll hop on over to the to BVI. That sounds really good. I like that idea. Let's see. Voting for cocktails on the beach. That sounds good. I like that idea. So, Christine, tell us, what kind of cocktails would you like to have on the beach? I remember when we were on one of those cruises to Bermuda, you know, when you go on the cruises, they keep bringing and bringing and bringing to you. It was really funny because one of the couples that was, they were listeners, or they were part of the audience of the show that I was hosting on iHeartRadio. And we were on the cruise to Bermuda with the whole gang, the audience, my family members, the folks from the travel agency. And there was this couple that was really enjoying themselves on the cruise ship and off the cruise ship. We went snorkeling, we were on a catamaran, we had a wonderful time. But they got the bill for the libations. What they do, if you've never been on a cruise, is they slip the bill under the door quietly at night when you're sleeping. So when you wake up, the very last day that you're on the ship, the bill with all any incidental charges are there. That could be pictures that the photographer took that you look at in the photo gallery, and you select, you know, the picture of you and yours with the captain and everything else. Any cocktails and sodas or anything you've consumed, and they slipped that under the door. And this couple, who had a wonderful time, they had an amazing time. I think it was their anniversary. They got the bill, and they got the bill for the libations that they had on the trip, because again, you know, they just keep serving you there with those midnight buffets and so much more. Their bill just for the libations, the cocktails alone, just the bill, $500 just for the drinks. Were they shocked? I would say so. They were they were so shocked. They showed everybody, look at our bill, $500. Oh my God, we can't believe we had that. But they also had a wonderful time. So let's see. Come with Jim. I'm based in St. Thomas. Yes, I think we should round up the troops, and we should do that. Let's see. Christine says, love St. Thomas. In Michigan, Martha Oliver Swartz says, the Michigan governor just announced we are extended on quarantine lockdown until June 12th. So just keep joining us here. We will put smiles on your face. We will have a lot of fun on the Jim Masters Show. Again, every episode is something different. We are live here on Jim Masters TV, on Facebook, and on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Spread the word. Call everybody you know. Have watch parties. Let's make this big. And again, if you have suggestions for guests, if you have suggestions for themes, if there is any birthdays, anniversaries, celebrations, baby announcements, if you have some photos that you would like me to show here on the air, just shoot me a message at Facebook Messenger at Jim Masters TV, or you can shoot a message to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. I read every message. I've been getting a ton of messages from everybody, all the viewers from around the world, and thank you very much. I appreciate the love and support. All right, I vote for the Virgin Islands. You're getting a lot of votes for Virgin Islands, Priscilla, so we can all relax together. That sounds good. And let's see, Christine says, Tito's and tonic with a lime. Very nice. That goes down smooth as well. And Christine, that sounds good. So you got you've got a vote of confidence there on the Tito's and tonic with lime, Christine, from Karen, who's somebody I interviewed on the radio a couple of weeks ago, and she's a brilliant person as well. Ooh, that stings. The next comment I'm going to show, your friend's bill was $1,800 for the libations. Was that on a cruise? Wow. Let's see, Ken in upstate New York, opening up Monday, phase 1. That's right. We're coming out of a phase, if you can call it that, into phase 1 and taking things gingerly, step by step. And hopefully everything will work out for everybody. You did phase 1 on Wednesday. Yes, I believe I'm not sure. I think Connecticut and Massachusetts did phase 1 on the 20th. Restaurants, outdoor seating only. Hair salons not open yet. And let's see. Cruise. Yes, a cruise sounds really, really good. Sounds really, really good. So a lot of people want to go on location. Well, I think that's a great idea. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. And that would be great to have all of you with us. So again, another great weekend coming up. There you see scrolling on the bottom. There's all the information. Facebook, Jim Masters TV, YouTube, Jim Masters TV. Share with your friends as well. And tomorrow night, again, we're going to have a terrific Dinner with Jim episode. That's going to be nice. What do you have in your glass tonight? Some of you have said agua. We have a little white Zinfandel. It's a little sweet, but it goes down smooth as we toast all of you. So for me, it's been a busy day because, it takes several hours to actually put these shows together. Even if we just do the chit chat and the interaction like we're doing right now, which I love doing with all of you, it takes a lot of preparation to put the shows together. And I love doing this. Again, so many people wanted me to do this, and you guys have been absolutely amazing. All of you have been really rolling up your sleeves and just doing what you can to spread the word. And I'm truly humbled by that. And I encourage you to continue doing that, because there's going to be some brilliant episodes coming up. We got the Dinner with Jim tomorrow. Who knows what I'm going to have in front of me? Why don't you dine with me? Even if you eat earlier in the day, we'll be here 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, but maybe you can have some snacks, have something where we can maybe show pictures and discuss what it is we're going to be dining on. We're going to do a food show tomorrow. That's going to be great. And we're going to have an on-location segment as well. Another comment coming in here. Yes, Din Din with Jim. Oh, that's a good name for that episode. Din Din with Jim. I like that. Hashtag Din Din with Jim. So some of you are going to the beach. Some of you are going to church. It's kind of tough because we can't get on any planes right now to visit family and loved ones and friends. And that's been really, really difficult too. So I want to offer you as well. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of levity, and a week ago I had a red nose on and I was doing jokes. I mean, talk about versatility. A lot of my training is similar to Johnny Carson and Dick Clark, where you can plant me anywhere and just point the camera, point the microphone, and I'll take care of the rest. As far as being like a versatile host, I've hosted many different kinds of shows. And but one thing that I do want to say to you, I just want to got another comment coming in here from Ken. Your platform is growing nicely. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. Your being here makes all the difference in the world. You've been with us for a while on Facebook, and I appreciate all of your wonderful comments and spreading the word, Ken. And you're here like every single night, and that's truly amazing because I know you have your family, and so I appreciate all of you taking the time to be with us. But I just wanted to offer up on this Friday night some peace, some joy, blessings, everything that I do in my life. If you follow the Master's mantras, or if you just follow what I've done on television, radio, or maybe you're just joining us for the first time and you've just met me here for the first time. You're like, oh, I kind of like this. I hope we keep doing it. I just want to personally thank each and every one of you. And I want to offer you kindness and empathy. I want to offer you love and support. Life is short. Life is short, as has been evidenced through what we've all been going through in the last couple of months. I know there's been a lot of sadness. I know there's been a lot of loss. I mean, even for me, every time I work in the industry or work in broadcast, and every time I've turned on, television and I've heard from colleagues who are journalists and all, and some of the information is extraordinarily sad, extraordinarily difficult. I know people personally who have passed. Fortunately, thank you, Lord, nobody in the family, but I do know people who have passed from COVID-19, and it's a rough time. And the economic situation has been extraordinary as well. So all we can do collectively as a society and as people is stick together, not be divisive, not be argumentative, not be, I'm on this side, I'm on that side, I'm staying on this side, I'm staying on that side. I'm a Libra, and if you know anything about Libras, we're all about balance and harmony. We loathe injustice. We see both sides of a question. I'm usually the guy that people always call in to straighten things out, to be the referee, the umpire, the one who is always, I've been called the comforter in chief, the one who always comes into play. And this extreme is arguing here, this extreme is yelling over here. And I try to bring everybody together. Not everybody's going to get everything they want, but if at least we can come to the table and just get some of what we want, then we can all live with some sense of harmony and peace and joy in our lives. We can't always have all the divisiveness and the yelling and the screaming and finger pointing and arguing and I don't like you and you don't like me and the road rage, and we're only here, well, we might be here more than once, but we're here now. So if we want things to be joyful, and before the pandemic happened, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and we've had some really good deep conversations about it. Before social distancing actually was the norm, the enforcement, we were already social distancing. A lot of people had their heads stuck in the cell phones. Some people were competing with others on social media. People weren't listening to each other. People were complaining that everybody is so upset and so angry. People were saying, where's the empathy? Nobody says please or thank you or you're welcome anymore. Everybody is just arguing and yelling and chaos in the streets. So we were already sort of in the mindset and the direction of social distancing before we had to social distance. And now nobody likes the social distancing, but we were already starting to do that. The kindness and the empathy. How many times have you read posts or seen things where people are saying, where's the kind people? Where's the friendly people? Nobody's nice anymore. Nobody says you're welcome, please, thank you. Nobody cares. There's no more empathy. Nobody's empathetic for the plight of the other person. For me, I've never not been kind or friendly or empathetic. And sometimes that has been to my detriment as well, because there's sometimes where, you can be maybe too kind or too empathetic, but I won't change. It's the essence of who I am. It's the way I was raised, brought up. It's the way my family has always been, always caring about others and looking out for the other person. I mean, I was always the person that when I was on a plane had problems when the flight attendant said, put the mask on yourself first before putting the mask on the other person. I understand now that you have to put the mask on you first so you have the oxygen and the strength to be able to help other people. That took time for me to learn that. But for us to want to come out of this with a more loving, caring society, respectful society, the things we always talk about, the things we always aspire to, the only ones that are going to make that happen are us, you, me, all watching, other people who aren't watching, who hopefully will be getting that message. That's the only way it all works, is if we all pull together. We can create the world that we want. This is a reset that we're experiencing right now. It's literally a reset. We have an opportunity right now through all of this loss to pivot. We've had to pivot. We've had to pivot with jobs and careers and health and so much more. It's an opportunity to not only be entrepreneurial, but also to be innovative and creative. It's also an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to connect. It's an opportunity to rebuild. We can really grasp this opportunity. There's a lot we can do with this. And we can return to what we were doing before. A lot of people say, I want to return to normal. Well, was it really normal, or was it a little going in a direction that wasn't necessarily the best? I hope that we don't necessarily return to normal. Normal as far as being able to go to the restaurants, going to the parks, shopping, all of that, jobs, all of that, good health, love, hugging, high fives, absolutely. But I hope as a society, not just in the United States, Canada, but globally, that we strive for better. You know what I mean? Because so many people are talking about that all the time. Oh, I wish it was friendlier and kinder and happier and more joyful. But it wasn't necessarily completely that way before something happened that stopped the world. The world kept spinning. You know, the earth's going to keep spinning. Nature is going to keep happening. The earth's going to be here. The rivers and the oceans, and it's all going to exist when you and I are gone. However, we've got this gift of this earth. We've got this gift of life that we've been presented with that we can maximize in so many ways that sometimes we don't. And one of the ways to do that is to love one another. Now, I'm not talking about trying to be Pollyanna, although I work in an industry where we try to create things that maybe are a little bit sweeter than they are, you know, in television and movies. And I love that, actually. It's nice. What's wrong with creating something a little bit sweeter than it is? There's nothing wrong with that. Something to aspire to. However, at the same time, to have the ability to be able to understand one another and listen, you know, help somebody when they're in need. You know, all the buzz and all the bling that we've been so concerned about. Oh, I have this, and well, mine's bigger than yours. And I've never been for any of that anyway. Do I like nice things? Do I like to have a nice environment? Do I like to share nice things? Who doesn't? Sure. But I work for those things. I earn it. I prefer to earn it. And then share what I've got. So the bottom line with all this is I know we have a lot of light and levity on this show, and that's what it's all about, and great guests and food and all these cool things, and so much more is coming your way here on the show. But oftentimes I'm always saying to friends and family and colleagues and people I come across how this is really an important time right now. We are presented with something that we could never have imagined with this pandemic. Something that is extraordinarily horrific and sad. But look at the people who are rolling up their sleeves and making masks. Look at people who have been bringing food to the needy. We did that. A group of us have done that. We brought food to those in need and supplies to those in need. There's people in shelters. There's people living in tents. People living in tents in this day and age with all the money and the technology, all the advancements, Wi-Fi, social media, and there's people living in tents, people living on the street. And so, you know, if we just pause a little bit, we breathe, have fun, laugh, do the things you need to do, make the buck. We all got to make the buck. Bills don't stop. We all want to grow. We all want to survive. We all want to be loved. People just want to be heard, you know. People want to be heard, loved, and respected. And those are essentials. Those three are big. And there's more, but those are three biggies. Heard and understood, valued, respected, and loved. And when we have all three of those working in tandem, it is an amazing thing. So the bottom line is, this is an opportunity for me, for you, for all of us. It's a beautiful opportunity in some ways, because sometimes out of the ashes rises brilliance, innovation, entrepreneurship, creativity, life, growth, new visions, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. And I see that happening around me. There's a lot of people that are hoping that that's what happens out of everything that has been occurring and still occurring and may continue to occur. We don't know. We're not necessarily fully in control. All we can do is social distance, wash the hands, check in with our loved ones, wear the masks, do all the things we can do. But, you know, a virus is a virus. So it's a reset. It's a wonderful opportunity to show empathy, show kindness, and love and respect. Something that I think would make the world spin on its axis in a more pleasant way. something I always talk about. I mean, I could do a whole show on this. I know we have a lot of fun on the show, but there's a lot of stuff that I do professionally where we like to inspire people and empower people in ways that aren't just the hosting of shows and other stuff. So maybe I'll do a whole show where we can have some guests on where we're talking about ways that we can inspire one another and empower one another, because I'm big on that. And I really think we're at a crucial time globally. This has been a global situation. So we're at a crucial time where we can really, really, truly seize this opportunity to do something that everybody says, make the world a better place, right? Make the world a better place. And I'm big about that. So let's see some of the comments. Hopefully, people will think about that. And Christine says, truth, hate to be with someone and they're looking at their phone. I know a lot of people were doing that. You go to the diners or the restaurants and you have 4 people at the same table and everybody's just looking at their phone. Nobody's communicating. And I'm a communicator. I love doing that. When I go to the diner, the phone's there. Sometimes I've got to respond, but I want to communicate with the person that's with me. So very well said, Jim. You're an inspiration. Thank you very much, Martha. I appreciate that. Blessed to know you. Blessed to know you as well. You have me crying. So very true. Well, I didn't mean to make you cry, but that means you're a very good-hearted person and you definitely understand this master's mantra of this being a really, really important time. There's a lot of people who are no longer with us, whether it's through COVID-19 or through just passings in life. And life is very short. And this is a beautiful experience that we have. Do we experience pain in our lives? Sure. Are we upset? Sure. Frustrated, irritated, annoyed? Absolutely. Does our hair not always come out the way we want it? Do we stub our toe? Do we get a bill out of the blue that we can't afford? That stuff happens all the time. However, we're breathing. We wake up. The sun shines, the birds chirp, the ocean tides come in, and life continues. So let's live it. Let's live the joys and the beauty of life. Let's celebrate life, because again, it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So we're going to get ready to wrap up. And I hope you're smiling, because again, I think all of you are stars. Thanks to all of you who have been with us on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live, where we have something different and something for everybody on every episode. And again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Your friends are here to put a smile on your face. Every host has their sidekicks. We've got Jimmy, who's here, who says good night to all of you. Don't you just want to hug Jimmy? There he is. His feet are cute, huh? There he is. All right. And of course, those of you who love Silver, Silver's here. Silver's been very quiet tonight. Silver. There you go. There you go. There's a full view of Silver. Don't you just want to hug Silver? And your other friend here, who's still stuck in her bottle because those hair salons are still closed. Jeannie. This thing is very, very weighty. I'm afraid one night I'm going to drop it. It was hand painted. It's one of a kind. Hello, Jeannie. We love you too. Yes, Master. She wishes you a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. We will be back tomorrow with Din Dim. I think Priscilla said it's Din Din with Jim. Hashtag Din Din with Jim. And of course, the quick-witted and always effervescent George Burns. Let me see if I can get in there close. There he is. Look at those eyes, huh? I got him he's in Forest Lawn right now in California, but I got him to make an appearance just for us. Look at that cigar. The incomparable George Burns. All right, folks. Yeah, we went to 2 hours. I'll try to see if I can wrap it up now. Relax, breathe. Love you all. I mean, so many of you are extraordinary people, and I've met you through social media. Some of you I know professionally. Some of you I've worked with. Some of you are friends, family, neighbors. Some of you are around the world. I'm so stoked about doing this for you and doing it at the best way that I can. So thanks for being with us. Bye, everyone. Martha, you're terrific. Thank you, Kathleen, as are you. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the love and support, guys. Feel free, again, to spread the word and share the links. I'll be posting probably right after this show. I'll post the link for tomorrow night's show, so you'll see it pop up on your Facebook. Feel free to share it right away. Tell your friends, family. I know I hate that part of this because it sounds like I'm pitching and promoting and selling. And it's hard for me to do that because for years, have always pitched, promoted, and sold other people on other things, built up other people. I've literally made millions of dollars for other entities and other people. So to just do it for myself, it doesn't come naturally to say, go to my Facebook page, go to my YouTube channel, go to my Twitter, go to my Instagram. But they're there. They're all at Jim Masters TV. I welcome you to do that. Relax, breathe. Maybe one day we will be in the British Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands together, and we'll go on a road trip, Jim Masters style. We're saying night to everybody here. Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow. Din with Jim. Night all. Christine. Thank you very much. Again, you guys are the very, very best. I mean, some of you have been here every single night, and I think that's absolutely amazing. So relax, breathe, be joyful, love those around you. Next time you want to get a little aggravated, pause. Don't hit send. Just breathe and not every day is going to be perfect. There's going to be people who are going to tick you off. There's people who tick me off. There's people who stop on my foot and cut me off on the highway. And sure, of course, but don't let it eat you up. Don't let people eat you up. Just live your life. You be you, right? You be you. Be authentic. Be you. You're just trying to teach. You're just trying to reach others' hearts. Yeah, I know. I've been accused of being a very heart-centric person, soulful, heart-centric. A couple of people I've interviewed these people on radio, some experts that are in different various forms, and they keep saying these three things: that I operate for some sort of a higher consciousness, that I'm very intuitive, and that I'm a high-level empath. Kind of cool to hear that. Probably right, but I'm glad I get a chance to share it with all of you. All right, guys, before we hit, I will keep it under those 2 hours. Thanks for joining us. Din with Jim, aptly named by Priscilla Lynn, our viewer and friend in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., have some food with you, whatever it may be. You have your beverage. Let's chat and have some fun on the Jim Masters Show. Another toast to you and you and you and you and you and you and you. And I hope you enjoyed my Masters Mantra message. I didn't plan actually to have that message at the end of the show, but it's been building within me, and I've wanted to have the opportunity to share it with all of you. And I thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll all get through this together and come out of it better. For the entire team here at Jim Masters, the Jim Masters Show Live, thanks for being with us. We've got an incredible week of guests next week, Memorial Day. Join us, Tony LaBianco, the award-winning actor, film and television veteran. He's going to be here live with an extraordinary, very moving and inspirational Memorial Day episode. For all of us here, you have a great night, everybody. You take care. Love all of you. I appreciate you being with us. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you again soon on the Jim Masters Show. Take care. Love you all. Keep spreading the word. We've got some amazing things that are in store for all of you. The show is only 3 weeks old, and it's been a real labor of love, and it's a true blessing. So thanks so much, everybody. Love you all. Get some good sleep, whatever you're going to do. Good night. This is a long goodbye, isn't it? They all are. I'm not a goodbye person. We will see you soon, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Din with Jim, as per Priscilla. Good night. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.